and we can get started on today's office hours for the Meetup for Organizers app. My name is Alex. I am a lead on our customer support team. I'm joined today by Colin-Pierre, another lead on our customer support team. And we're going to talk to you today about the Meetup for Organizers app. We are here to answer your questions and show you how best to leverage this new app so that you can be as successful as possible organizing your groups on the go. As always, we like to walk you through some guidelines about the event that we are all participating in today. First of all, this video will be recorded. You do not appear in the video. Your cameras are off. The video will be shared by an email later this week with the newsletter, I believe. Your audio also will be muted during this event. So video and audio, don't worry about it if you're just going to be seeing us in the video. But if you do have questions, you can always submit those questions in our Q&A feature, which is available at the bottom of your screen. We do make time at the end of this event to answer those questions in person, and we also have some of our support specialists on the line to be answering some of those questions during the presentation itself. Last but not least, we do have closed captioning available. If you'd like to turn that on, just click the live transcription button at the bottom of your screen and select your preference. Today, what we are going to be walking through, once I finish with this introduction, we're going to talk about why we've developed a separate app for organizers, as opposed to maintaining the original app, which had all of the features included in one. Once we talk about the differences between the new Meetup for Organizers app and the different ways that you can manage your group with Meetup, I'm going to hand the screen over to Colin, and he is going to give us a live demonstration of the Meetup for Organizers app. He'll show us some of the special features that it offers, the exclusive opportunities that you get through the app. And then once we're done with the demonstration, we can make time for that question and answer session. All right, so what we'll learn today is, as I've been teasing, we're going to take a look at some of the exclusive features available on the Meetup for Organizers app. We'll give you an opportunity to set the app up yourself if you haven't had a chance to do so already. Colin's going to share his screen so that we can see how we create an event with the Meetup for Organizer app. We're going to take some time to make sure that we show you how to activate some optional settings that aren't always immediately available when you start creating an event with the app. And then we want to make sure that you've got access to resources so that you can request additional features from this new app and that you can contact us on the support team if you have additional questions. We'll skip ahead here. We'll dive right into why we've developed a separate app for organizers. So one of the primary questions that we asked ourselves and that we like to share with our user base is what the difference is between the Meetup website, the original app, and this new Meetup for Organizer app. We're really excited to share this new app because it's designed to be faster and simpler for organizers. It's reflecting our dedicated focus on the tools that you need to organize your group. And it's designed so that you can get immediate on-the-go access to tools so that you can manage your attendees, create events on the go, stay in touch with everyone who is a member of your group and who is attending your events. We want to make sure that this is the simplest, easiest experience so that you can manage your group while you are out and about. This is sort of reflecting the way that technology is developing, that the internet is developing, and that community organizing is developing, and we're trying to stay apace with it and make sure all of these features are available to you. So here's just like a quick breakdown of some of the main differences between the classic Meetup app and the Organizer app. As you can see on the left, some of these bullet points are things that you can already do in the original Meetup app. As you know, you can create and edit your events. You can contact members with your email client using your phone. We have an attendee manager available in the app. You can check all of your notifications for your account. You can even save an event draft. And anytime that you create an event in the Meetup app, the original app, you automatically announce that event to all of your attendees. On the right, we've shown the differences available on the Meetup for Organizers app. The first three bullets you'll see are the same. You can still create and edit events, excuse me. You can still contact your members with your email client on your phone, and you can still manage your attendees. We have a more expanded or focused experience for the next three items, which is rather than getting all of the notifications for your entire account, The Meetup for Organizers app will focus those notifications on ones that are specific to the groups that you organize. So you'll be getting the updates and the alerts that are specific to your duties as an organizer. Rather than saving just a single event draft, you get to manage a list of event drafts. So you can manage multiple event ideas at different stages in the creation process. And last but not least, the last expanded feature that we have from the original app is manual event announcements. On the website, you're able to immediately or manually announce it. Up until the Meetup for Organizers app, this was not a feature that was available on the phone. And now you get to choose when you send out those announcements to your members. That's a really crucial and important way to stay in touch with your members and to give like live communication on what the best upcoming events are and which ones you want them to be notified about. And then below that, on the right-hand list, you'll see exclusive features for the Meetup for Organizers app. Never before on your phone have you been able to create repeating events. Never before have you been able to design event descriptions with rich text formatting like bolding and italicizing or including hyperlinks. You can add or change your event hosts. We have a new feature where you can set up event fees. You can charge a small fee for attending your events. That's an important way that organizers often use to offset costs for their subscription. And we're trying to make that a more convenient process for everyone by making it available on your phone. You'll be able to search for events in your group. So if you have a large list of events that are coming up, now you'll be able to see by searching for them which event you're looking for. And you can also connect your Zoom account in the Meetup for Organizer app, which allows you to set up an online event like the one we're currently attending with more flexibility because you'll be integrating it with your existing video hosting software. So some exclusive features for the Meetup for Organizers app designed to make creating and managing your events more convenient as possible. All right, so next, now that we've teased some of these exclusive features available in the Meetup for Organizers app, we want to make sure that you have access to the app itself. If you haven't downloaded the app already, it's a good idea. Make sure you've got your phone available on you for this event. I highly recommend that because as Colin is going to be taking us through the live demo, I learned by doing. It's great to have your phone on hand so you can walk through the steps with Colin as he's doing it. You can see in real time how these features work. So how do you get the Meetup for Organizers app once you have access to your phone here on this event? Scan this QR code. It's going to take you to a landing page where you will be able to download the Meetup for Organizers app for the device that you use, either for Android or iOS devices. If you don't get a chance, if you're still in the process of getting your phone and you're not quite set up yet, don't worry. This QR code will be available throughout the presentation. We'll be sharing it on multiple slides. We want to make sure that you've got access to this app. I'm going to leave this slide up for just another moment. The screenshots here will give you a little glimpse into what the Meetup for Organizers app is going to look like once you open it. If you have already downloaded the app, you sign into your organizer account using the same email address and password that you use on the website or in the other version of the app in order to access your organizer account. And then you should be all set to follow along with our live demonstration, which should be coming up right now. Like I said, here's the QR code again. We've got it here at the top of the screen in case you still need a moment to catch up with us and set up that app. This slide's giving you a little sneak peek into the different pieces of the Meetup for Organizers app that Colin is going to be walking us through, specifically like how we log in, where we find specific features in the app, how that navigation. The meat and potatoes of the presentation is, of course, how we create events. That's like the primary feature of all Meetup groups is when we are going to create that event and make sure everybody in our group is going to meet in real time and build those real connections. So Colin's going to show us how we create the event in the Meetup for Organizers app. And then once we've created the event, Colin's going to show us how we manage those events and specific features exclusive to the app that allow us to manage those events more conveniently. So if you'll stay tuned, I'm going to switch our presentation over so that Colin can share his screen and walk us through the app. And Colin, whenever you're ready.
All right. Thank you, Alex. Hello, everyone. My name is Colin. I work on the product support team here at Meetup. And I'm going to show you, share my screen here and show you the Meetup for Organizers app. let's go here to my Meetup folder. So you can see here, we've got, the original Meetup app for members, and now we have the new Meetup for organizers app. So when you open it, you'll first need to log in with your organizer account credentials. Now, keep in mind that this app is not available to members, so you'll need to be on the leadership team of a group in order to access this app. So I'm just gonna log in real quick with my email address. And all right, cool. So welcome to the Meetup for Organizers app. You can see here that this is my virtual yoga for beginners meetup group. This is a real group that I organize, so feel free to find me and do some yoga with me. This is your group overview page. You can see at the top is the title, and also the group's location. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York, and the number of members in your group. Now, when you tap the number of members, or your member count, our mobile web experience will open where you can manage your group's membership. So you can change the member's role, you can remove the members, you can approve members if you have the organizer approval setting turned on. You can also tap into the member's profile to see their stats and any other like profile answers. So for example, when someone joins my group, I ask, how did you find out or hear about this group? And they give an answer. So you can see their answers there. And then going back to the app itself, we also have a contact members feature. So when you tap that, you can choose which email client that you want to send the email from. So here, if I tap Gmail, you just have to keep in mind that you are sending the message to the group's mailing list. So, so it will be delivered to anyone who's subscribed to those messages. However, I have multiple email addresses here, so I want to make sure that I'm selecting the email address that's associated with my Meetup account, because otherwise the message will not go through. So just keep that in mind when you're sending messages, messages to the mailing list. Let's go back to the app here. We also have a group settings button. This also brings you to our mobile web experience where you can edit your group settings, basic information, edit your leadership team, etc. We also, and then right in the middle here is your event list. So you have the upcoming events, any drafts. Right now I don't have any drafts, and then your past event list. I'll talk more about all these in a minute. Then at the bottom is also some hosting tips. These all link to our Community Matters blog, kind of gives you some tips on how to organize your group and events. In the upper left, you'll see the 4 dots. So when you tap that, right now it just shows one group. But if you are on the leadership team of multiple groups, or if you own multiple groups, you'll see them all listed here. But just for this example, I just have this one group that I organize. And then in the upper right, we just launched this this notifications bell, and this is a list of your group specific notifications. So you can see that it shows who has RSVP'd. You can see that there's new people who've joined my group. And also if like an event's canceled, etc. If I tap the notification, it brings like this notification told me that someone has RSVP'd to my event. So it brings me straight to my attendee list. I'll talk more about this list in a second. Just wanted to show you the notifications. And then in the upper right, there's also the profile icon. So when you tap that, you can see that it's your account information. You can connect your Zoom account. You can also contact us by if you're experiencing something that it shouldn't be happening, like a bug, Or if you have feedback or you want to share feature requests with us, you can also log out at the bottom there. Cool. All right, so that's just an overview of our navigation of the app. I also I want to show you how to create an event. So in the lower right corner, you can see the red plus sign. When you tap that, you'll see the option to create a new event, or you could copy an event. So let's create a new event by tapping the plus sign. So this is a yoga group. So let's just make a new yoga event. So I'm gonna say let's do yoga in the park. Even though this is a virtual yoga group, I'm gonna try maybe like an in-person event. So we'll save that. For the location, you can choose whether the event will be in person or online. For online events, you can also input the event online event URL or connect your Zoom account. But for this one, we'll just say that it'll be an in-person event, and we'll do some yoga in Prospect Park because I'm here in Brooklyn. And you can also edit the map pin to wherever you want. So let's say there's a nice field somewhere we can do yoga together near the dog park here. So save the map pin. And then you can also add a section about how to find us. Just say, let's meet outside the dog park, or you could give, more details about where exactly you'll be. Cool, we'll save that. Then we have the event's date and time. So I'll say that let's maybe do it on the 17th, nice Saturday yoga session, start at maybe 11 a.m. And then we can say we'll end at 12. We have our event description. Now this is great because you can use some rich text formatting. And then when you input your description, you can preview it to see what it will look like. I won't go too much into the event description, but you can use bolding, you can use italicize, hyperlinking, bulleting, and numbering. And then we have our featured photo. So I have a bunch of recent featured photos from the past. So you can select one from your camera roll, but I'm just going to use this one that I've used. Cool. So those are that's the main event information, but we also have all these optional settings at the bottom. The first one is the COVID-19 safety measures. This allows you to tell your members that masks or the vaccine is required and whether the event will be held indoors or outdoors. So here, let's say the vaccine's required and the event will be held outdoors. You can also share additional information and details about the COVID-19 safety measures. Save that. Then we have the repeat event feature. This is exclusive to the organizer app. It's not available in the member app, but you're able to repeat the event every month, every 2 weeks, or every week. And then you can even set an end date for when the event will stop repeating. Keep in mind that this setting will only appear right now after you input a date and time. So if you don't see it right now, just put in a date and time and it will pop up. But I'm just going to keep this off for now. I'll just say this is a one-time event. And then you can ask your members a question. So let's ask them, are you beginner or intermediate? When they answer this question, it will show up on the attendee list. So you can kind of take see an overview of what everyone said. Then we have the add or change hosts. This is also only available in the organizer app. But let's say you want to add a host or add like a co-host to, maybe I can make Alex a co-host and do some yoga with me, or maybe you have a yoga teacher you want to join, or whatever. But so yeah, let's make Alex a co-host. Then we have our attendee limit. The attendee limit lets you cap the number of members who can RSVP. Now, since this is an outdoor event, I'll just keep this off, but you can say however many people you want to cap it at. Then we have guests. So I'll turn this on. Let's say you can bring like up to 5 guests. And then we have the RSVP start and end time. This setting allows you to open or close the RSVPs at a certain time. So you can say that the people can start RSVPing the day of the event, 1 day before, etc., 1 week before, and then when they can end. So I'll just keep this off though.
It might be worth pointing out now, Colin. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
The RSVP start and end time and the repeat event options, those don't usually pop up right when you when you open the event scheduler, right? Like these are optional settings that unlock when you select a date and time for your event.
Exactly. So if you don't see it right now, just input the date and time, and then you'll see these pop up.
Great. I just thought we should highlight that. It's
good
common request to find those features, and we want to make sure everybody's got access to them.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. And then the last one is the event fee. So here you can charge your members. You can set the payment method to direct from members, or if you have your PayPal account set up, you can charge them via PayPal. And yeah, you can, if you're an international organizer, you can select the currency, etc. I'll just keep this off for now because this is just make this a free yoga event. Cool. All right, so I've inputted all my event details, but let's say I'm not quite ready to publish the event yet. You can save the event as a draft by tapping Save as Draft at the bottom. And so once you do that, it will pop right up in your draft list. Now, if you want to edit or delete the draft, just tap it. You can edit it, but then in the upper right, there's the 3 dots. And if you just don't want it anymore, you can discard it. But if you're ready to publish it, just hit the red Publish Event button. And there you go. You just publish your event. You can see the option now here to announce your event now, or you can do it later. So I'll do it later. And this shows you an overview of your event page. And you can see the unannounced tag up here. If you tap unannounced, it will show you, again, give you the option to announce it now or later. So do that whenever you want. And then in the upper right corner, we encourage you to share your event with your friends and network. So you can share it via text, email, copy the link, and you have all these other options with other people. Cool. So that was how to create an event. You can see here, this is again just the event overview, the one that you just created. But now I want to show you how to just view other events and all your upcoming events. So back on the group overview page, you can see the upcoming event list. You can see draft and past. So let's say you want to view one of your upcoming events. You can select it from the list here or tap See All Upcoming Events. And you can search at the top here to find a specific one. But let's just pick one from the list. Here's one that's happening on Monday. I've got 7 people RSVP'd, which is great. And when I tap the Going section, you can see the list of attendees. And you can see if anyone has said they can't make it. And when you tap a member, let's tap Maria here, you can see that it's her first event. You can move her to not going, you can edit how many guests she's bringing. You can make her the event host. And also down here, Sharon said he's bringing one guest, so you can manage the guests there. It looks like there's like a lot of people who have RSVP'd for the first time on Monday, so I'm excited to welcome them. We also have the filter option. You can filter your attendees by whether they're a host or if they're bringing guests, and then you can also sort them by their most recent response or alphabetically. You can also search for members. Like, let's say someone's contacted you and said like that they're coming, or they're just having, they're asking you to RSVP for them on their behalf. Let's search for that event. Or wow, not event. Let's search for that member, and let's say Alex said that she's coming, so you can move her to going. Or maybe Alex has said that he's not going, so let's move him to not going. So just gives you a lot of options there. You can see the member count has updated, and now you can see who's going and not going. So yeah, a lot of great functionality with the attendee manager. I also want to call out the 3 dots in the upper right. This allows you to manage those optional settings of the event. So you can close the event for RSVPs and stop people from RSVPing. You can edit the guest limit, and you can edit the attendee limit. All right. Now let's go back to the event page. Let's say you'd like to edit this event because maybe you want to extend, the time by 30 minutes, or you need to edit the event description. On the event page here, you tap Manage Event, and you have all these options. You can edit the event. You can also view the event in the Meetup app, the original Meetup app, to see what your members are seeing. You can feature the event, close for RSVPs, copy, cancel, and delete the event. So a lot of options there, but let's tap Edit Event. Now this is a reminder that I will be editing the event from the single event from the series. Because this is a reoccurring event, it won't edit every single reoccurring event, it'll just edit this one. All right, so here's the event scheduler again. Maybe I'll just extend this by 10 minutes because yoga's gonna last for 30 minutes. Save it. Could do any other edits and just save and publish. So just a quick way to edit that. Now, a super useful feature of the Organizer app is the ability to copy events. So let's go back to our main group page. Let's go to, let's say maybe I had a great event that I hosted a couple weeks ago in my past event list, and I want to do it again. So just go to your past event list. You can search for it, or you could grab it, and then you tap Manage Event, and you can tap Copy Event. And you have to change the event date and time because since it's a past event, you'll need to select what the new date is. So let's make it there, make those quick changes, and publish. So it just makes it really easy to quickly copy a past event. You can also, like I said before, you can tap the plus sign and tap Copy Event and then select from the list. This shows upcoming and past events. So yeah, there's a lot of functionality in this app, and we're really excited to continue iterating on this. So please let us know what you think, because we're always open to hearing your feedback. So thank you so much. I'll pass this over back to Alex.
Hello, everyone. All right, let's take a look here. Got our slide deck back up and running. So yeah, as Colin said, hearing from our organizers who are currently using the app is a huge part of how we are continuing to develop and update the app. We want to tease an upcoming feature that's rolling out soon, which is event check-in. It's a feature that was developed based on feedback we were receiving from organizers. And once it's live, you'll be able to keep track of attendance in real time using the Meetup for Organizers app. So when you are at your event, as attendees are arriving, you can mark them as either checked in or absent. This is an easy way to flag no-shows. You can also edit your guest counts from this feature. We don't have any screenshots to share yet since it's still in development, but it's definitely in development now, and we hope to have more to share with you soon. And we want to highlight it because it's something that we realized was urgent to make because of the requests we were getting from organizers who were currently using the app, excuse me. So in the spirit of that, we want to make sure that you have access in order to register those feature requests, to ask us questions, and because hearing from you is a huge part of how we continue to build our community of organizers. So we've got some QR codes here on the screen. We'll keep the slide up for just a second as I walk us through what each of them are for. There's sort of specialized availability for different kinds of questions. On the top left, you'll see a QR code for our product feature request forms. That's how something like the check-in feature comes to be. We hear from people using the app. They say, hey, we'd like access to do this sort of thing. We send those requests over to our product team. They analyze our requests and figure what needs to be prioritized. If you don't have a request, but you just want to stay up to date on what we are launching and when, the bottom left-hand corner has our product updates. It's available on our Community Matters blog. You can stay subscribed to it and get the most recent updates. Sometimes, as we are seeing in our Q&A right now, and if you do have questions for us, please feel free to be posting in that Q&A now. We'll be answering those questions in just a moment. But if we don't get to your question today, or you run into other questions while you are using the Meetup for Organizers app, make sure that you check out our help center. We have lots of resources currently available on how to use Meetup, how to get the most out of your tools, how to stay in touch with your attendees, all that kind of stuff. At the bottom of every Help Center article is a link that says, if you need help, click here. It'll open up an email ticket, and our support specialists will be able to work with you directly, take a closer look at your account and answer your questions and help support you as you are continuing to build your communities and host your events. And last but not least, in the bottom right-hand corner, sometimes something just goes wrong while you're using the app. We know it. And you'll know it too, because error messages will pop up. You won't be able to get access to the thing you're trying to get to. Hearing from you as those things are happening help us to address those issues faster. We identify them faster, we fix them faster. So the bottom right-hand corner is a QR code so that you can submit a bug report. That way we can prioritize those fixes and get the app or the website back up and running as quickly as possible so you can get back to building your communities. Okay, so these are the common links for contacting our community support team and making requests and requesting support. And now we come to our favorite part of our events here, which is answering your questions. As we answer some of the questions from the Q&A, I am going to keep this slide, which you've seen before, back up on the screen. This has the QR code that takes you to the landing page where you can download the Meetup for Organizers app either for Android or for iOS. As we keep this up, we're going to start taking a look at the Q&As. I will point out as well that Emily has been posting some very helpful links in our chat feature. They will take you to the direct links that you saw in the QR codes throughout our presentation today. And now, without further ado, let's take a look at some of our Q&As. Colin, do you mind if I tackle the first one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so we got a couple questions in from Dave, and I think I can take a crack at both of them. One is, what is the difference between publishing an event and announcing an event? It's a great question. Publishing the event just means you've completed the draft of your event creation, and once you publish it, it's live on your group homepage. Anyone who visits the group is going to see that event on their app or on the website. They'll be able to open that event, they'll be able to review the details, and they'll be able to RSVP. Announcing the event is an extra step after it's been published. Announcing makes sure that you have shared that event with all of your group members and interested people who might not even be members of your group, people who've registered that they are interested in similar topics to your group. So once you announce the event, you are attracting new attendees to join your events.
Yeah, and that announcement is in the form of a push notification. It's also in the form of an email. And those notifications go out to members who are subscribed to receive those.
Exactly. Thanks, Colin. Yeah, and as we said before, if you were using the original, like the classic Meetup app in order to create your events were being automatically announced. So you didn't have as much control over when that announcement goes out. With the Meetup for Organizers app, you are able to choose whether you want to send that announcement out as soon as you publish, or if you want to wait and time your announcement, because some people realize that with their particular group, sending out those announcements at particular moments gets a different amount of RSVP response. So there we go. Difference between publishing and announcing an event. Dave also asked, a problem with free events. 33% of RSVPs do not show up. How do you stop no-shows? This is a crucial question. It's not so much about supporting the app itself, but it's about how you are successful leading your groups. There's not a easy answer for this, unfortunately, because it depends on the community that you are building and the people available in it. We have some tips that we like to recommend for success. One is that, as you're pointing out, these are free events. We have found in our experience, I mean, when I'm hosting my events, this is what I see, is that when I set even like $1 or $2 of an event fee for my RSVPs, people are more likely to attend because they've invested something. The stakes are a little higher for them to attend. And then you also know that you're going to get people who are like more interested in attending the event because they've committed more of their time and their money into participating. Another thing that can boost show-ups for your RSVPs is to maintain healthy communications in your group. We have some resources available both on our Community Matters blog and on our Help Center to sort of coach you through what a good communications plan is. The announcement is, I think, like a crucial part of it. Like when you schedule that announcement, how you alert people to the fact that your event is coming up, but staying in touch with people even when you don't have an event on the schedule. You can use your group discussions to ask what kind of events people are going to be likelier to participate in. You can use your contact members tool to email your group members and notify them and say, hey, by the way, keep an eye out. We're going to have events coming up soon. You can send out polls that way and see what people want to participate in. So it's a little bit of testing along the way and seeing what your group members are more likely to respond to and what they're more likely to RSVP to and what they're more likely to turn up to. You'll have to tweak your community along the way. After the Q&A, we are going to have a slide up for a resource called the Meetup Community Organizers on Discord. This is a new feature that we're offering. It's a resource where you get to communicate with other Meetup organizers who are seeing like success with building their communities, and they might have some more tips along that line of how to get more people to turn up. So stay tuned. We'll have that slide up later after the Q&A. I just want to make sure that we call out to look ahead for that. All right.
I have a question from Patricia.
Great.
She said, is it still that you cannot share if yours is a private group? So you're still definitely able to share your group with anyone, even if it's private. Just keep in mind that privacy settings will either hide certain details of the group. So for example, if your group is private, you can share it, but when someone accesses the group that you shared, they won't be able to see all of the group details until they become a member. So you can still definitely share it, just there will be certain information that is hidden as opposed to public groups where it's generally open and you can see more details about the group.
Great. Thanks, Colin. Our next question comes from John. His question's in 3 parts. John asks, do I have to use a cell phone or can I use a computer to publish an event? The answer is yes, you can use Meetup on a computer in order to publish your event. A lot of the features that are available on the app are also going to be available on the computer. help of using the Meetup for Organizers app is the flexibility of it, that you're able to schedule those events on the go, that once you are at the event, if you don't have your computer with you, you have access in order to continue managing your event and to communicate with members. Particularly helpful, I think, if something like members are having trouble figuring out where they're supposed to meet everybody at the event location, or if it's an online event, people are having trouble logging into the event. So making sure that you have a little bit more access and a little bit more flexibility is primarily why we're making some features in the Meetup for Organizers app exclusive. And they're going to be features that it makes sense to have on the phone rather than on your computer. But yes, you can publish events on the computer, and events that you publish on the computer will be seen on the app and vice versa. It's the same, it's like the same system. So events that are published in one area are seen in the other. So John's second question is, how often can I place a meeting? So we did take a look in the optional settings at setting repeating events. I mean, the answer is pretty wide open here. You can set as many events as often as you like. I would warn against doing that, though, for a similar reason why we were talking to Dave about RSVPs and turnups. If you inundate your community with lots and lots and lots of events, people tend to get overwhelmed. They're not sure what events they're supposed to turn up for. They're not sure what to expect at each of these events because they're appearing so frequently. So being a little bit more specific and a little more cautious about what event you're scheduling and when, you'll probably see more success with those RSVPs and show ups. So think about, clarity of scheduling, what you want people to be attending, what you want people to expect. So you can place many, many, many meetings. That is an option. Just you might want to think about how you're doing it and why. And John's last part of this question is, if the meeting is online, is the video run by Meetup or do I have to set up Zoom? Another great question. Meetup does not host video sharing. We partnered with Zoom. You can integrate your Zoom account into the Meetup event scheduler so that you can immediately generate a Zoom link in order to host your event. In order to do that, you would need to have a Zoom account. If you prefer a different video software, there's a space, as Colin showed us, where you can insert a link. You don't have to create the room with Zoom. You can use something else like Google Hangouts or whatever your video hosting software of choice is. But you would have to have an account set up with that platform and then use that link in the event scheduler to set that up. So thanks for asking those questions, John.
We have time for one more question. This is from Gail. She says, how does the donation app work? Do we need to track payments for tax purposes? So I think Gail is referencing the new fundraising feature that we launched. So fundraising it's a new feature that we've partnered with a third-party company called Pledge. And the way that fundraising works is that you can enable it through your group settings. And now keep in mind, this is only available to United States organizers right now, but you can enable fundraising / pledge through your group settings. And when you do, you'll have the option to say what the fundraising, what you're fundraising for. So you can, pick a custom, you can input like a custom explanation, or you could choose from a list of like, you could say you're raising money for your group subscription, or you're raising money for your upcoming event or a venue. And when you enable it, you can also choose to set a goal. So you can say, you're raising $100 for the Meetup subscription for the next year or so, or next 6 months. And then you can also, when it is enabled, there will be a prompt on your group homepage, prompting members to give if they want. It's totally optional. There's no requirement to give. So it will have a donate button, and when they click donate, there will be a modal that pops up, and they could input however much they want to contribute. You can also toggle fundraising on in your event scheduler, in your event settings, and then there will be a donation button on your event page. Really quickly, the other question is about tax purposes. I would actually recommend checking with a tax professional to categorize the funds that you receive as either income or tax, because it really changes based on, the designation. So I can't really give great advice there. So definitely check with the tax professional on that.
Great. Thanks,
Yeah,
Colin.
yeah, no problem.
And thank you to everybody who shared questions today in our Q&A. If we didn't get to your question, please feel free to reach out to us through the Help Center. You can submit a request to our support team. I do see one other question here that I think we will be able to address. Emily has also just posted a link to that organizer community, and that is the slide which I teased before here. So this is the QR code where you can get the invitation to join the organizer community on Discord. And again, the link is also available in the chat. Thank you, Emily, for posting that. Christopher posted in our Q&A and asked what O2O prioritized support means. And it's referring to this, organizer to organizer. We are really excited about sharing this resource because I think as much as we are familiar with the product and we're trying to answer questions as much as possible, hearing from people who are using it to build their own communities, I think has a little bit extra nuance and a little bit extra weight to it. If you are a brand new organizer who's just starting to build your community, or if you're an experienced organizer who's sort of hit a plateau and you're trying to figure out how to launch into another level with your group, working with other organizers to hear their tips and their ideas about how they've continued to build and grow their communities is really, really crucial. So Discord is a real-time chat platform, a little similar to Slack. It's like an instant messaging space. If you're familiar with those programs, you do have to set up an account in those spaces, but once you're in, you will be able to have real-time access to these organizers and benefit from their expertise. So we'd really love for you to consider joining. It's a great space to ask questions and to continue learning. And we also have a podcast. Our CEO, David Siegel, has a podcast called Keep Connected. You can subscribe through this QR code or the link available here, get some real-time updates about what we've got coming out, some initiatives we're excited about, some other conversations along those lines. So we'd love for you to subscribe. And that concludes our presentation today. Thank you for joining us for our office hours to discuss the Meetup for Organizers app. Really excited to share it with you, and thanks for sharing your time with us today. Have a wonderful day.
Take care, everyone. Thanks.